Hi, third graders, it's Mrs. Zetterholm. We are going to learn our new vocabulary words for Unit 5, Week 4. So our first word here is mixture. Say the word mixture. Good. Now go like this. Mixture. Good. Let's spell it together. M-I-X-T-U-R-E. Mixture. She added milk to the mixture of flours and eggs. So you can see that already in here was some flour, that's the white stuff, and then there was an egg that was cracked, and now you see somebody pouring in milk to the mixture. So a mixture is a mixed condition, okay? It means that things or ingredients have been blended together or mixed together. A lot of times you talk about mixtures when you're cooking because you know when you cook, you use a lot of different ingredients a lot of times. So usually you have to combine those ingredients in some ways, and therefore you will have a mixture at some point. So any mixed condition. Here are some example sentences. Look up at the top at our picture here. A mixture of nuts and raisins can make a great snack. Yes, it can. A lot of people call this trail mix, especially when there's like M&Ms in there or other types of healthy different little things for you, raisins, cashews, almonds. Your next one, he put a mixture of ketchup, honey, and pepper on the chicken wings. So that's definitely a mixture because we know it's a mixed condition. He has put the ketchup, the honey, and the pepper all together and combined them or mixed them to make that sort of rub or glaze for those chicken wings. The movie was a mixture of comedy and action. So I immediately thought of the Lego movie because that movie has a lot of funny scenes in it, so comedy, and it has some action, like some actual scenes that are like really fast paced and there's a lot of action going on. So it's kind of a combination of both. So you're going to look at the words below and determine if they are made from a mixture of ingredients. If it is, I want you to say mixture. And if it's not, you're going to say not a mixture. So your first one, milk. What do you think? Not a mixture. You're right. You're not mixing things together to create milk. Next one, cake. You should have said mixture. Mixture, because cake is made of many different ingredients. Oh my goodness, my lights just turned off. You do the next one while I turn my lights on. Egg. What do you think? Did you say not a mixture? You're right, it's not a mixture. Next one, number 4, bread. Is it a mixture? Yes, it is, mixture. And number 5, lemonade. It is a mixture. Yes, you usually need some lemons, some sugar, water. You need a bunch of things combined together or mixed together. Good. Your next word is the word ingredients. Say the word ingredients. Wonderful. Let's spell it. I-N-G-R-E-D-I-E-N-T-S. Ingredients. You'll notice it has an S on the end, which means that it is plural, more than one. If we were singular, if we were talking about a singular thing, one thing, it would just be ingredient. Like if there was only one ingredient missing from your cupboard. But this is ingredients, meaning more than one. You can see here that there are ingredients such as sugar, that's in the white container here, chocolate, and vanilla, that's in that little brown bottle here, and they must be making something sweet because everything here is what you would add to a sweet dessert. So ingredients are parts or the materials that are in a mixture. And hey, we just learned what that word means. So it's the parts or materials that you put in a mixture. Your first example sentence says the ingredients needed are usually listed at the top of a recipe. So way back when you didn't have the internet to just Google a recipe all the time, people would actually have recipe cards, and some people still do. they would have a little box in their kitchen, and they would write either on like index cards, or some people had special recipe cards, and they would write their most favorite recipes on those cards. And you'll notice this one's for pumpkin bread. It says that up in the top right corner. And then at the very top, it says ingredients, and it lists all the ingredients or all the different materials that are needed to make that pumpkin bread. Usually the ingredients are towards the top so that people can check to see if they have them easily. Next sentence, tomatoes, olive oil, onions, and garlic are a few of the ingredients in my pasta sauce. So here we have a picture. And the last one, the fridge was full of ingredients to make a hearty vegetable soup. So hearty means that it would fill you up. So look at that drawer. There's lots and lots of vegetables in there that could be used in a soup. So here is your question. If you were making a salad, what ingredients would you use? Keep in mind there are different types of salads. So there's kind of a traditional type of salad that you might be used to hearing, but there's also things like fruit salads or pasta salads. So what would you use if you were asked to make a salad? Use the word ingredients in your answer. Pause the video. Your next word is the word batch. Say the word batch. Good. Let's spell it. B-A-T-C-H, batch. Okay, that TCH makes that ch sound. So you can see here that a baker displays a batch of cooled cookies. Here in his hands on that pan is a batch. Now I hope that's definitely cooled because you shouldn't be touching the pan if it's hot. So a batch is a quantity, that just means a group or a certain number of something that's made at the same time. So these are a batch because they were made on the same pan at the same time. If he had to put many different pans into the oven at many different times, then if he took one from each of those pans, those wouldn't make a batch. A batch is when you make something at the same time. So it's just one pan's worth or one, one group of that food or whatever you're making. So Mom made a batch of rolls for Thanksgiving dinner. So here you can see the batch. They were all made at the same time. Chloe is supposed to make a batch of cupcakes for the bake sale. So here's an example of what Chloe's cupcakes might look like. You can see there's a batch. They all look very similar. They were all made at the same time. We ordered a batch of t-shirts for our softball team. So sometimes batch is talked about when you're not talking about food, and it just means a group of something made at the same time. So if someone was screen printing a bunch of those shirts at the same time, those would also be considered a batch. Your question is this: which would you prefer, a batch of cookies or a batch of cinnamon rolls, and why? Use the word batch in your answer. Go ahead and pause the video. Your next word, this is the last word we'll talk about, is the word braided. Say the word braided. Good. Let's go ahead and spell it. B-R-A-I-D-E-D, braided. You'll notice that it has that long A sound, braided, and that AI is what helps make that long A sound. You'll also notice there's a suffix, an ending, ed ending, meaning it happened in the past. It was already done. Something was already braided or it was already woven or twined together. So braided describes something that's woven or twined together. You can see that this loaf of bread has been braided right here because it has been woven together. They've taken the dough and they've kind of moved it before it was in the oven so that it forms a braid. Here are some example sentences. She was so proud of her beautifully braided hair. This little girl just got her hair done. It looks great. She braided the dough before putting it in the oven. So this is what it would look like before it turned into that loaf that we just saw on the previous page. Dory got a braided bracelet for her birthday. So these are, this is an example of a braided bracelet. You can make this with string too. A lot of people call them friendship bracelets. Your question is this: do you know how to braid hair? Watch the video and learn how. So you could either try on your own. If you have hair, you could try a little piece. If you don't have long hair like me, that's okay. You can just learn. It's pretty easy. And then if you learn how to braid hair, you can also braid bread or your dough.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you step by step how to do a basic 3-strand braid. It's very easy to do, and if you want, then you can just follow along to this video. So let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to do is to split the hair into 3 equal sections. So you have a right, a middle, and a left strand. Now cross the right strand over and into the middle. Then cross the left strand over and into the middle. Again, cross the right strand over and into the middle. Then take the left strand and cross it over and into the middle. That's all you're going to do. So cross the right strand over and into the middle, and cross the left strand over and into the middle. So now just repeat those steps until you reach the end of the hair, and then tie the braid off with an elastic. And I will leave a link to the ones I'm using down below.
All right. Hopefully you learned something new. Maybe you already know how to do that. There's many different types of braid. This is just an easy one. We'll learn the rest of the words in our next video. Good job today.